Every relationship in life is karma. Listen so you won't blame life. Hello everyone. Welcome to Mind Podcast, Buddhism. Have you ever wondered what the relationship is between your wife in this life and you in a previous life? The Buddha told the secret of marriage on the three-life stone. He taught that marriages in this world all arise from karmic causes in past lives. He analyzed 4 kinds of destinies contained within a husband and wife relationship in this life: repaying kindness, repaying enmity, repaying a debt, and collecting a debt, as well as the most special destiny, one inscribed on the three-life stone. Marriage in this world may seem like a chance meeting, but in truth, it is destiny. Is your wife in this life a benefactor or an enemy from your past life? Have you come to collect a debt or to repay one? Or is it the fruition of wholesome karma accumulated over many lifetimes? What is the secret behind this? What mystery is hidden in this secret of marriage on the three-life stone? Why do some couples treat each other with respect, while others live unhappily together? The Buddha once revealed the secret of marriage in this world to his disciples. The wisdom in that discourse can help us see into the nature of marriage in this life. It is said that in the Yadavana forest in the land of Savasti, the Buddha was teaching the Dharma to the monks. At that time, a young lay Buddhist came with his wife to pay homage to the Buddha. The couple was very affectionate, and their gentle manner drew the attention of the monks present. The young layman respectfully bowed to the Buddha and said, "World-honored one, my wife and I have been married for 3 years. We treat each other with great respect, and our love only grows stronger. I often wonder how we could meet and know each other amid such a vast sea of people. Do we have a good relationship in a past life? I beg the Buddha to enlighten me." The Buddha looked upon the couple kindly, smiled, and said, "Child, all things in this world arise from causes and conditions. Your meeting with your wife is not accidental, but the result of karmic conditions from your former lives." Ananda, who was present, also rose and asked, "World-honored one, please enlighten us. From where do husband and wife relationships in this world arise? How can we establish good relationships with sentient beings?" The Buddha closed his eyes for a moment, as if recalling the past, then slowly said, "All beings revolve within the 6 realms of rebirth and have formed countless karmic ties with one another. 2 people who are husband and wife in this life may have been father and child, mother and child, siblings, or even enemies in a previous life." These words surprised everyone present. The young layman, puzzled, asked, "World-honored one, if in a past life 2 people were enemies, why would they marry in this life?" Ananda, curious, asked, "World-honored one, how many kinds of karmic conditions lead to marriage in this world?" The Buddha smiled and replied, "Marriages in this world can be divided into 4 kinds: repaying kindness, repaying enmity, repaying a debt, and collecting a debt." Looking at those gathered, the Buddha said slowly, "There are couples who received a favor in a previous life, and in this life meet to repay gratitude. There are couples who received a favor in a previous life, and in this life meet to settle it. There are couples who owed debts in a previous life, and in this life come to repay them. There are couples who were owed debts in a previous life, and in this life come to collect them. These 4 karmic patterns account for most marital relationships in the world." A monk asked in confusion, "World-honored one, if this is so, why are there couples who love each other while others are like enemies?" The Buddha explained, "Those who are repaying kindness or collecting debts often experience more affection in this life. Those who are repaying enmity or repaying debts often experience more quarrels. Yet this is not absolute, because actions in this life create new karmic conditions." After hearing this, the young layman pondered and asked, "World-honored one, since there are 4 karmic relationships between husband and wife, which kind do my wife and I belong to?" The Buddha smiled gently, with a knowing look in his eyes. "The marriage between you and your wife is not merely one of the 4 kinds, but a more special one, inscribed on the three-life stone." Everyone present held their breath, waiting for the Buddha to unveil the mystery of this marriage. Ananda pressed his palms together respectfully and asked, "What are the signs on the three-life stone? Please, world-honored one, compassionately enlighten me." The Buddha's gaze grew deep, as if piercing time and space to see the distant past and future. The bond spanning 3 lives is extraordinary. Previous life, this life, and the next. The karma of 3 lives continues like an eternal vow etched on stone, where this marriage comes from, and where it will go. Ananda asked, World-honored one, if beings form a relationship across 3 lifetimes, will they meet again in the next life? The Buddha nodded and said, the destiny of 3 lives has both fixed and mutable aspects. If 2 people continue to cultivate wholesome karma in this life, they will surely meet again in the next. If they diminish their virtue and their affection grows thin, their destiny in the next life will also weaken. Though destiny has fixed elements, it also changes according to conduct in every life. The Buddha looked at the monks present and said, now I will teach you about marriage. Most marriages in this world have causes and effects. There are 4 principal causes and conditions, and that which is inscribed on the 3-life stone is the most special among them. The first kind, repaying kindness. In a previous life, someone received a favor. In this life, they repay that kindness through marriage. Such couples often love and respect each other deeply. The husband may care for his wife and heed her in all matters, or the wife may be exceptionally devoted to her husband, tending to him in every way. This is the natural manifestation, in this life, of gratitude from a previous life. The second kind, repaying enmity. In a previous life, there were unresolved grievances. In this life, they become husband and wife, often quarreling, harming each other, even becoming like enemies. However, there are also those who, in this life, through patience and understanding, resolve the enmity of the past and ultimately reconcile as before. The third kind, collecting a debt. In a previous life, someone owed money or affection, and in this life, the 2 come together to collect it. In this kind of marriage, one party gives while the other receives, so the relationship is unbalanced. The one who is collecting the debt is usually carefree about livelihood, while the debtor must toil for a lifetime. The fourth kind, repaying a debt. Debts from a previous life are repaid in this one. In such marriages, the debtor often repays through diligence and devotion, or even with life itself. Some marriages that seem unjust are in fact the natural current of karmic retribution from past lives. What is inscribed on the 3-life stone surpasses these 4 karmic entanglements. It is the result of accumulating wholesome karma across 3 lives and of mutual support over many lifetimes. This kind of marriage is the most precious and the most stable. Hearing this, the young layman understood that his meeting with his wife in this life arose from wholesome karma over many past lives. World-honored one, how can we sustain this special destiny and carry it into the next life? The Buddha, with compassion, said, Child, if you wish to extend a bond across 3 lives, rely on 3 things. First, treat one another with respect. Second, do good together and stand together in what is wholesome. Third, arouse the Bodhi mind and do good not only for your own happiness, but so that all beings may be free from suffering and attain happiness. In this way, your bond will not only last 3 lives, but may extend for hundreds or thousands of lives. Ananda asked again, World-honored one, if someone does not meet a destined partner in this life, does that mean they had no good relationship in past lives? The Buddha replied, some formed deep karmic ties in previous lives, yet they cannot meet in this life because of differences in merit, place, or timing. Some lived as celibates in previous lives, so in this life they have no inclination toward a romantic relationship. Karmic connections run very deep. There is one more very important point, the Buddha said solemnly. Men and women in this world should not act recklessly based on supposed past life karma. If you see another couple loving each other and say it is a past life marriage, that is wrong view. As the saying goes, the law of karma is not obscured by ignorance. If you create evil karma in this life, you will bear its fruit in the next. Venerable Ananda recorded this dialogue, and later generations compiled it into a Buddhist scripture titled the Sutra on Karma and Marriage. Whenever anyone asks about the relationship between marriages in past and present lives, the wise recount this story to inspire others. Cherish the present and cultivate worthy aims. Although marriage in this world arises from causes and conditions, it must also be maintained through effort in this life. As the ancients said, to know the causes of a past life, look at what you are experiencing in this life. To know the results of the next life, Look at what you are doing in this life. Whatever the causes and conditions of your past may have been, your conduct in this life is the key that determines your next. The secret of marriage on the three-life stone not only reveals the origin of a couple's destiny, but also points to the way to sustain happiness. Respect each other as honored guests, do good together, and walk together toward the Bodhi tree. This may be the most precious teaching on marriage that the Buddha left to this world. Amid this dusty world, have you ever wondered why the virtuous suffer while the wicked live at ease? Have you ever wept quietly in the night amid injustice and losses without answers, and in your most vulnerable moment asked whether life is fair? Dear one, we cannot choose where we are born, but we can choose to live in accord with conscience and the Dharma. Whether poor or rich, whether this life is spent repaying debts or receiving blessings, the most important thing is to keep a wholesome vow, a heart that knows love, and a continual practice of letting go. The Buddha taught that karma spares no one. In the end, good and evil alike bring their corresponding results. We, small human beings, live within the cycle of birth and death, coming and going, loving and hating, unaware that every change has its root in a seed once sown in the distant past, perhaps in a previous life or in this very one. We have passed through countless lives, having wept like children, laughed like fools, hated like burning fire, loved like a storm, and then one day we sit with the wind moving through hair, now turned white, and realize that all is conditions, karma, cause, and result. No one arrives late in our lives. They come at the right time when the fruit is ripening. No one stays forever. When conditions are sufficient we meet, and when they end we part. In the ceaseless flow of time and life, a human life is but a blink. Yet within that blink, every thought, word, and deed can become causes and conditions for countless lifetimes to come. Some say, I do not believe in karma and rebirth because I remember nothing of past lives. Yet if someone plants a seed today, even if they later forget, the seed still sprouts, flowers, and bears fruit. Karma does not require our belief. It operates all the same. Some things we lose today are the repayment of old debts. Some things we have not yet received because the fruit is still ripening. All suffering will pass if we live in accord with karma, sow goodness each day, admit fault when we err, practice repentance, and begin again with a smile. Listen to the stories below with your whole heart, for perhaps you will see yourself in them, seeing how you have loved, suffered, repaid debts, and forgiven in another form and another time. In this impermanent human realm, a law operates quietly and with absolute fairness, the law of karma. Though it cannot be seen with the eyes or grasped with the hands, it still works with order, like a shadow following form and an echo following sound. Those who understand karma are careful with each thought, word, and action. Those who have not understood live heedlessly, leaning on the present while discounting the consequences to come. Good and evil, blessing and misfortune all have roots. As you sow, so shall you reap. Have you ever wondered why the wicked may live in comfort while the kind suffer greatly? Few realize that blessing and calamity are not confined to a single lifetime. Some live virtuously yet are beset by suffering because past karma still clings. Some live badly yet remain wealthy because blessings from a previous life are not yet exhausted. When blessings end, retribution will appear. When the debts are paid, the light will come. Therefore, karma is neither punishment nor reward, but a natural law that is exceedingly fair and precise. In the Dhammapada, the Buddha teaches that beings are the owners of their karma, the heirs to their karma, born of their karma, sustained by their karma, and they die according to their karma. This means that everything we meet today, from happiness to suffering, is the result of what we have done in the past and what we are doing in the present. Karma is an invisible energy formed by body, speech, and mind. Every action, word, and even a single thought is a seed sown in the field of the mind. When the conditions are sufficient, that seed will sprout and bear fruit, whether wholesome or unwholesome. The ancients said, "Good brings good results, evil brings evil results." If the result has not appeared, it is because the time has not yet come. A virtuous person may not enjoy blessings in this very life, but peace surely awaits in the future. One who does evil may not yet meet calamity, but when the causes are complete, the fruit will ripen. No one can escape it. No one can bribe or bargain with the law of the cosmos. Vast as heaven and earth are, they never lack the ledger that records each person's merits and faults. In Buddhism, there are three kinds of karmic result. There is the result that appears in this life, the result that appears in the next life, and the result that appears in lives further on. Therefore, do not rush to conclusions when you see the kind suffer and the wicked enjoy good fortune. Look with the eyes of a practitioner and see that the law of karma operates across the length of time, not only within one brief lifetime. The Buddha taught, to know the causes of a past life, look at the results in this life. To know the results of the next life, look at the causes you are creating now. One who practices does not complain about fate or lament their lot. They use each present breath to sow wholesome seeds, because they understand that the present is the most fertile ground for planting good causes for the future. When we understand the law of cause and effect, we learn to live more carefully. We do not become arrogant when praised, do not grow resentful when criticized, do not do wrong for the sake of gain, and do not abandon good deeds because they are difficult. A person who understands karma lives a life without shame before heaven and earth, and without fear before the ups and downs of fortune, because their mind rests in goodness and wisdom. Across countless lifetimes, we have been those who hurt others and also those who were hurt. Yet in this life, if we are mindful, if we know how to stop and transform, we will no longer be swept along by the cycle of birth and death. This is the great value that understanding karma brings. It helps us return to our innate goodness and be free from the suffering we ourselves have created. Remember, karma does not always wait for a future life to ripen. Sometimes it appears in a glance, a word, or an action in the present. The seeds we plant in each moment will bring corresponding fruits in the stages of our life. Life is a river, and we are the ones at the oar. If we know how to steer, then even in wind and waves we can reach a peaceful shore. So do not grow careless because karma has not yet ripened, and do not abandon yourself to wrongdoing because others do evil. Live a life worth living, a meaningful life, by sowing love, spreading goodness, and acting from the true heart. In the end, karma overlooks no one and favors no one. Everything we do returns to us like a shadow following form, like an echo in a deep cave. One who understands the path does not live waiting for rewards. They live like a quiet lamp that gives light, without needing praise, without seeking repayment, simply living so that conscience does not reproach them, so that the heart is at peace and free from shame before life. That is enough. That is blessing. That is the road out of suffering, down to each small thought that arises in the mind. In this glittering world, how many believe in karma while living amid fleeting glory? How many will look deeply into their suffering to see that they themselves planted the seeds of that pain in countless past lives? A meditation master once said, "To be human is a marvel, but to be human with right view is exceedingly rare." A human life is hard to obtain, and the Dharma is hard to hear. This is the earnest reminder the Buddha left. Among the millions of beings wandering through the six realms, not all have the fortune to be born human, and fewer still meet the Buddha's teaching. To gain a human life and not practice is to waste a lifetime, to let life fall into the hands of karmic force, and to lose one's way in the desert of ignorance. Once, someone asked the Buddha, "World-honored one, why do I practice diligently yet life remains hard? The body still sick, the family still unsettled." The Buddha did not answer at once. He lifted a small handful of soil from the ground and asked, "Child, which is more, the soil in my hand or the soil of the great earth?" The man replied, "World-honored one, how could the soil in your hand compare to the vast earth?" The Buddha smiled with compassion and said, "In the same way, the karma you now bear is like this small handful of soil, while the karma you have created through countless lives is like the vast earth. How many injustices have you sown? How many beings have you harmed? How much suffering have you caused? Do you remember them all? So do not rush to blame life. Be diligent in practice, for practice is the only way to go beyond the entanglements of the very causes you once planted." Hearing this, the man wept. One life of sowing, 10,000 lives of reaping. In the round of rebirth, there is no one who has not been father, mother, spouse, or child to one another. When karmic force separates us, love turns to resentment, husband and wife become adversaries, and kin become life's creditors. This is why the Buddha taught that all phenomena arise through conditions and cease through conditions. Knowing how to let go brings freedom, clinging brings downfall. Dear friend, if you are suffering today, do not blame heaven or resent the world. Look instead at what seeds you have planted in this life. If you are still alive, still breathing, and still able to hear the Dharma, that is no small blessing. Do not waste another human life in complaint and anger. Karma never disappears. Rebirth is not fantasy. Karmic force is the truest mirror of what we have done. Do not forget that any karma can be transformed if the mind has enough compassion, wisdom, and strength to turn back. Practice transforms karma. Repentance is self-release. Compassion is the key that opens the gate of rebirth. Mindfulness is the torch in the night of ignorance. Transforming karma is not a miracle that happens overnight. It is the path of sincerity, of daily drops of sweat, of a humble gaze turned inward, and of a vow that does not waver before worldly trials. One who knows how to transform karma is one who dares to look at their own wounds without complaint, who knows that there is no mountain that cannot be crossed, only hearts that lack perseverance, who understands that living wholesomely, moment by moment, is already opening the way to a lighter and more peaceful life to come. In the glow of sunset blanketing the monastery, the sound of a wooden gong rings out. A pilgrim lifts their head, listens in silence, then quietly joins their palms. In that instant, they know that karma is not fate but a lesson, and that one can graduate from that lesson through mindfulness and a sincere vow of heart. This is not like a formal Dharma talk, but a heart-to-heart whisper, from a soul seasoned by life to a soul searching for the way home. The teaching on cause and effect is not to frighten us, but to awaken us. Not to make us pessimistic, but to show that right now we can plant a wholesome seed, a thought of compassion, a meaningful deed, and from there turn the course of destiny. Rebirth is not a fable. Karma is not an illusion. Every time we smile at someone, every time we refrain from hurting words, nothing is lost. It is all recorded in the notebook of the universe called karma. The Buddha once taught, see life as a dream. If the dream is pleasant, be grateful. If the dream is painful, awaken. An awakening is the path out of rebirth. One who sows seeds of merit today will harvest seasons of peace tomorrow. One who lives with a wholesome heart today is already lighting the way home for many lifetimes to come. Live so that when a lifetime ends, there is nothing to regret. Live so that when you look back, you feel no shame before yourself. And when you step into a new life, may the conditions be sufficient to meet the light of goodness again. If we meet again in some future life, may we smile and call each other friend, companions who once walked together on the path of awakening. On the human journey, the most beautiful thing is not success or fame, but the moment we realize we are the authors of our own destiny. If you are suffering, do not resent and do not despair, for suffering is also a teacher. If you have done wrong, do not turn away. And if today you dwell in peace, do not be complacent. Do not forget to sow further goodness, for everything that comes to us has its reason. Karma does not punish. It is a mirror that reflects who we are. In days to come, only we will reap what we have sown. The sower is us, and the reaper is us as well. Karma has no enemies and shows no favoritism. There is only the human heart. Once it understands, it learns to walk lightly, to live at ease, to bow and repent, to smile and forgive. A seed of goodness, a gaze that understands, a hand extended when another suffers. This is how we create merit. No gold or silver needed, no fame or profit required, only a grateful heart and a kindness that asks for nothing. Then, when we leave this life as lightly as morning dew falls from a petal, if anyone asks what can be carried away from this world, it can only be the wholesome karma quietly cultivated in every word, deed, and thought. Have you ever asked what truly belongs to us? This body is provisional. Fame, wealth, love, and hate are like foam at the river's edge, like clouds passing across the sky. The Buddha taught, all conditioned things are impermanent. They are of the nature to arise and cease. If we truly understand this, what is there left to cling to? and what is there left to suffer for? Today we again have the chance to sit together and reflect on a profound truth of human life. Life is a temporary abode. All things are impermanent. Born into this world, everyone seeks happiness, yet few escape suffering. We suffer for what is lost, ache for what has not yet come, and entangle ourselves in the invisible strands of attachment. Suffering is not caused by life itself, but by the clinging of our own mind. Only when we release our attachments and see clearly impermanence can we walk lightly on the path to awakening. We cling to money, status, affection, and fame. When they slip away, we are devastated. But if we understand that all is a passing realm, coming and going, meeting and parting, our hearts will be much lighter. Life is but a temporary stop. Do not make yourself suffer. Conditions are as fragile as a breeze. When they come, cherish them. And when they go, let them go with joy. The Buddha taught that all phenomena are empty. When conditions arrive, connections are formed. When they end, they dissolve. Clinging brings only suffering. Letting go is liberation. In love, pain does not arise because others betray us, but because we have not yet learned to let go. If we clutch the past, we are only imprisoning ourselves in sorrow. When the mind releases, the heart is instantly at peace. People often think that accepting impermanence is the same as resignation or indifference, but it is not. Accepting impermanence helps us treasure what we have now. If we know a flower will wilt, we will cherish it more while it blooms. If we understand that a loved one will one day leave us, we will spend more time loving them, so there is no regret when they are gone. When the mind abides in the present, when we understand that all will change, the upheavals of life no longer torment us. Like a lake unruffled, like a clear sky, our mind becomes quietly at ease, unburdened by regret or grief. Impermanence is not to be feared. It is the key that opens the door out of suffering. Human life is like a dream, our days like a passing breeze. Yet people drown in desire, grasping for what lies beyond their reach. The poor long for wealth, the wealthy crave power, and the powerful yearn for immortality. So the wheel of ambition never stops, and it is that very ambition that draws us into an ocean of suffering without shore. We often imagine that happiness will arrive the moment we obtain what we want. But when we finally get it, are we truly satisfied? Or do we simply crave more? One person longs for a roof against the rain. Having it, they want a larger house. Having a large house, they desire more land and possessions. Greed is a bottomless pit. The more we pour in, the emptier it feels. Only when we know enough can the heart be at peace. Sufficiency is not found in outer wealth, but in inner contentment. One who knows enough amid poverty is happier than one who is rich, yet always anxious. A simple bowl of rice eaten with gratitude is more delicious than delicacies eaten with a troubled mind. Only when we release ambition, accept what we have, and honor the present moment can we step out of suffering. When the mind is tethered to what is not worth clinging to, a passing glance, a careless word, a trivial act, it can be thrown into turmoil for days. We let our hearts be bound by trifles and then torment ourselves. We suffer over criticism, fume at injustice, and grieve over losses without seeing that all these things are like clouds in the sky, drifting in and drifting out. Excessive worry only exhausts us and changes nothing. What matters most is to live well in the present, for the future cannot yet be grasped while today is slipping away moment by moment. The future has not arrived, but if we live well today, tomorrow will take care of itself. Fame and gain, affection, past and future are all just waves within the heart. When we cling to them, we are like a small boat swept away, unable to find a shore. If we know how to set them down and accept the coming and going of all things as natural, then no matter how large the waves, the mind remains calm like an autumn lake without ripples. When conditions come, welcome them with joy. When they pass, release them gently. Everything that comes and goes has its causes and conditions. When conditions converge, things harmonize, people meet, blessings appear. When conditions disperse, all changes, partings occur, and nothing can be forced. What you hold in your hands today, this body and life, wealth, kinship, reputation, are all temporary conditions. They arrive when causes and conditions are sufficient, and they leave when those conditions expire. If we grasp and try to hold on, we bring suffering upon the heart. What is ours has never truly been ours, and what is not ours will never belong to us. People cling to fame and profit and give rise to craving and rivalry, and when they lose them, they fall into grief. People cling to affection and remain infatuated, unable to let go. Remember that every meeting in this world is like the swells of the great ocean. Those who once loved may one day have to part. When conditions are full, we meet. When they are spent, we separate. That is the natural way. If we keep longing for someone or for a love that has passed, it is like clutching a withered petal and weeping while spring outside is in full bloom. Many live in pain because they cling to the past, but the past is only a shadow in the mind. It is no longer the truth of the present. No matter how we regret or wish to turn back time, we cannot. Just as a river that has flowed on cannot return to its source. Let what has passed drift away like clouds and quietly dissolve. People worry because they cling to the future, yet the future has not come. Why bind our hearts to what has not happened? A seed in the soil will sprout when wholesome conditions are present. Anxiety and fear do not make it grow faster. They only trouble the mind. Live the present moment fully. When conditions come, welcome them gladly and cherish what you have. When conditions depart, let them go lightly, without regret or complaint. A flower blooms when spring arrives and falls quietly when autumn comes, without sorrow and without attachment. If we know how to let go, the heart naturally becomes at peace. If we no longer cling, this life becomes as light as drifting clouds. Light your own lamp of wisdom, so that in this temporary world the mind remains still like an autumn lake, unmoving and unshaken, passing through gain and loss, meeting and parting with ease. Understand cause and effect in order to live peacefully. Nothing happens by accident. Everything we encounter, happiness or suffering, has its reason. The law of karma operates naturally, favoring no one and overlooking no one. If we live kindly and sincerely, we will dwell in peace. If we live selfishly and harm others, we will meet misfortune. Karma is not here to punish. It is simply the natural working of life. When difficulties arise, people tend to complain and blame. Instead of asking why I suffer, we should ask what have I done that led to this result. With that understanding, we lessen resentment and learn how to change ourselves to create a better future. A person who lives in anger and jealousy will meet only trouble. One who knows love and sharing will gradually find life becoming lighter. Life always changes and nothing lasts. What we have today may be gone tomorrow. If we understand cause and effect, we no longer cling or worry too much. We understand that losing something may simply mean the conditions have ended, and instead of suffering, we learn to accept, welcoming what comes and letting go when it goes. To live in accord with karma is to know how to adjust oneself, to live virtuously, to be grateful for what we have, and to accept what cannot be changed. With this understanding, we shed many anxieties and find peace within our own hearts. Let go so the mind can be light. Letting go does not mean losing. It means liberation. Those who have not understood the Dharma often think letting go is giving up what is ours, a loss or a disadvantage. In truth, letting go in the Buddha's teaching is not abandoning life, but releasing the fetters of the mind. It is not indifference to life, but living amid life without allowing the mind to be bound by worry and affliction. Beings suffer because they cling to possessions, status, affection, the past, the future. These are invisible cords that bind us. We keep holding on, afraid to lose, and with each passing day the heart grows heavier and more uneasy. The Buddha taught that if we wish to find ease, we must first let go. Let go of greed, let go of anger, let go of delusion. When the heart is no longer disturbed by craving, resentment, and blame, it naturally feels light and serene. To let go, we must first contemplate the nature of all things. Everything in this world arises through causes and conditions, and when those conditions are exhausted, all dissolves. Nothing belongs to us forever, and nothing remains unchanged. Like flowing water and passing clouds, all is temporary, gathering and dispersing. If we truly understand this, we will no longer cling or suffer when something leaves our life. Contemplating impermanence is also a way to practice letting go. Impermanence is the nature of the world. This body is impermanent. These possessions are impermanent. The relationships we have are impermanent. Today we may be wealthy. Tomorrow we may have nothing. The one we love today may not be by our side tomorrow. If we cannot accept impermanence, we will remain immersed in suffering. If we understand that everything will change, we will no longer fear or suffer because of loss. In life, we often suffer because we always want more than we have. But when we know what is enough, we stop chasing external things and losing the peace within. Contentment does not mean accepting life without striving to improve. It means cherishing what we have and not letting our hearts be ruled by endless desires. An important factor that helps us practice letting go is cultivating a compassionate heart. When the heart is full of compassion, we no longer hold on to anger and blame, nor harbor resentment toward those who have hurt us. One who clings to hatred is binding themselves in suffering. When we forgive, we free not only others but also ourselves. With love and forgiveness, our hearts grow lighter and are no longer tormented by attachment. Letting go is not a matter of a day or two. It is a steady practice in daily life. Each day, we reflect to see what is unnecessary that we are trying to hold on to. Bit by bit, we set it down, and bit by bit, we feel lighter. One day, when the mind is no longer entangled or bound, we will see that life has long been peaceful by its nature. Life is but a temporary realm, like clouds drifting across the sky, like water running through a stream. Everything will pass. What we strive to grasp today may vanish tomorrow. What we regard as ours is in fact only a temporary convergence of conditions. If we cling, we suffer. If we release, we are at ease. Only by understanding the impermanent nature of all things can we live lightly, unbound by worries and sorrows. Let your heart be wide open and receive everything like passing breezes. Welcome what comes with joy, and let what goes depart with calm. Do not let worries and anger dim the serenity within. May each person find a measure of peace after hearing this teaching. Live like a flower in the midst of life, quietly giving off fragrance, untroubled by the winds. Do not chase the mirages of fame or the shackles of past and future. When the mind is no longer burdened, when we learn to let go of useless afflictions, that is when we truly touch genuine happiness. Remember the Buddha's constant teaching, all things are impermanent. A human birth is hard to obtain. The true Dharma is hard to hear. To be born human is a great blessing. To know the Buddha's teaching is an even rarer good fortune. Therefore, do not let life pass by in ignorance. Live so that each day carries meaning, so that when this lifetime closes, there is nothing to regret. May everyone remain serene and at ease, with body and mind pure and wisdom bright on the journey of life.